Hi, I'm Adam, and in this video series I'm going to be taking you through how to create your first client in Truth. In this video we'll walk through how to create clients using templates. We'll look at how to navigate the fact find screen and how to open and use statements. We'll then have a brief introduction to the net worth statement, which displays clients' assets and liabilities. Let's get started. To create a new client, you can click on the Clients menu from the top toolbar, followed by the New Client option. Alternatively, you can click on the File menu in the top left, followed by the New Client option on the left-hand side. In this video, we're going to focus on creating clients using templates. This is just one of the many ways of setting up clients in Truth, including getting clients to input their own data via Truth About Money, using our back office integrations, and using the data entry wizard. If you would like to know more about any of these other methods, please reach out to our support team. I've also included a link to a video introduction to the data entry wizard in the video description and on screen here. The first thing we'll need to do in the new client form is to select a template. You can set up your own client templates, but you should see our default basic data template in the list. A template is a skeleton structure for a client, containing blank items just waiting for you to input values. For example, this template has a joint property, some savings and investments, a house, etc. I'm quickly going to input some example details. You can input your own details or those of a client. When you sign up for a trial, you're automatically bound by our privacy policy, so your data is secure and covered by GDPR, so you don't need to have any concerns about inputting real client data. Whenever you're in a date field, you can simply type the 6-digit number that corresponds to the date, and Truth will automatically format this into a date. For example, I could type in a date of birth of 010170, and this will be recognised as the 1st of January 1970. There are a couple of fields that require a little clarification here. The first is the usually known as name. This is the name we'll use throughout Truth when referring to the client on statements. It doesn't have to be the same as their forename. Next, we have the projection up to age field. This is how long you want your client's cash flow to last. We recommend using a starting point of age 100, but you can edit this at any time. The projection settings control the starting inflation rate in your model, the return clients get on any surplus income, and the overdraft interest charged on any deficits. I've linked a recent blog we wrote covering these concepts in more detail if it's something you're keen to know more about. You can add in a partner at any stage, but it's nice and easy to add a partner from the new client screen. So I'm going to do that here. That's it. We're done. Just click on the Create Client button to create your first client. You can now find your client in the list of available clients on the Select Client screen. Click the Open button here to load up their record, and you'll be taken to our Fact Find screen. We're now going to cover how to navigate the screen and how to add, delete, and edit items. Everything in Truth is based on a familiar Microsoft Office style interface. Our Fact Find is based around the Outlook email inbox. On the left-hand side, you have a list of folders. Clicking on Entire Fact Find is just like clicking on Inbox in Outlook to show all of your emails. When we click on Entire Fact Find, we can see everything that's been created for us from our template. We have various items just waiting for values or with a placeholder value of £1. On the left-hand side, you can see various subfolders, such as policies. The number in blue indicates how many items are in that folder. Clicking on the policies folder will display just the 4 policies we have for this client: 2 personal pensions and 2 state pensions. It will also adjust the preview information on screen to give data that's more relevant to our clients' policies. To add a new policy, simply browse to the end of the branch to find the type of policy you want to add. For example, to add a new personal pension, we browse to Pension, and then Personal Pensions. We can then click on the blue plus sign to add a new item. To delete an item we don't want, simply click on the cross on the right-hand side. For example, if our client doesn't have a mortgage, but there's one in our template, we can either click on Entire Fact Find and select the mortgage, or click on Mortgages and Loans on the left-hand side, select the mortgage, click on the cross on the right, and choose Yes to delete the item. Before we move on to looking at the net worth statement, which shows a visual summary of clients' assets and liabilities, let's add in a value for the client's main residence. To open any item from the fact find, we simply double-click. In the property item, we can add a value by inserting a number in the Current Value field. There are a host of useful keyboard shortcuts you can use in Truth, which you can access from any date field, anywhere in the software, by pressing C or the question mark key to bring up our date calculator. For the date of the valuation in our property, we can insert today's date by simply pressing the T key on our keyboard. While we're here, it's worth noting that my template has a main residence that's projected to grow at 3%. On the new client screen, we chose a starting inflation rate of 3%, so the value of our property will keep pace with inflation moving forwards. The different planning statements in Truth allow us to give clients a visual representation of all the data we've gathered about them during the fact-finding process. To open these statements, you can click on the relevant icon from the Planning toolbar at the top of the software. The net worth, which shows assets and liabilities, is represented by the piggy bank icon at the top. When you open a statement, a new tab will appear at the top of the software. Just like tabs in your internet browser, you can close any tabs you don't need or click on Open Tabs to return to them. The net worth statement shows the data we currently have about our client's assets and liabilities. Note, our property shows with the value we've just input, while everything else still has the placeholder values from our template. These placeholder values allow us to edit the assets directly from the net worth statement without having to return to the fact find. For example, we can input a value in their investment portfolio simply by double-clicking anywhere we see the name of this investment in Truth. When inputting any policies or investments, Truth will prompt us to input contributions, as this can affect not only the growth on the asset, but also the client's expenditure. If you don't want to enter contributions, just click No here. On the left-hand side, we have some chart icons. The pie chart gives us the breakdown of assets for the currently selected tax year. Having input a value for their property and their investment portfolio, we can see a visual breakdown of what we have so far. The bar chart shows us how the client's assets are going to change over the course of their lifetime. While the property is just holding its value, the investments are growing slightly. If we right-click on the bars at age 100, we can see that the property still has a value of £500,000, while the investment portfolio has grown from £200,000 to £320,000. The blue we see appearing from about age 66 or 67 is cash. As our client's state pension is coming in from that point, and we have yet to input any expenditure, they have surplus income which is accumulating. As we start to flesh out our model with more details about their income and expenditure, we'll see a more complete picture emerging. The idea of these statements is that they give clients an illustration of their possible financial future. We want clients to engage with the modelling process, so it's important for them to understand that their cash flow in Truth isn't just a PDF report or static presentation that's locked in. It's a dynamic, living, breathing model which they can control. If our clients disagree with any of the assumptions we've made, we can change them. For example, if they want to assume better growth on their property, we can simply adjust the growth figure. We can now see that, in today's terms, the value of their property is growing. By age 100, it's now worth £780,000, up from £500,000 earlier. Let's say they want to model selling their property in future. Adding in a date of sale will release the equity from the property. Note, in any date field here, we can either enter a calendar date in the box on the left, or an age in the box on the right. Let's enter age 85 here. As soon as we save our changes, every chart and statement in Truth will update automatically. This really helps clients understand that they're pulling the strings and that they're in control. Note, the value of the property disappears when it's sold. As we're not yet investing the capital, it's shown as cash on our lifelong chart. As we input the client's plans for their different assets, as well as details of their income and expenditure, we'll further flesh out this picture. We'll be covering more of that in the next video. For now, we've covered how to use the fact find to add, amend, and delete items. We've looked at how to open and navigate statements in Truth, and how the changes we make to items feed through to the net worth statement. In the next video, we'll look at income and expenditure. You can watch that video now by clicking on the link in the description or the link on screen. Thanks for watching.